Hi everybody, welcome to the dungeon. My name is Robin and today is Lampworking 101.61. Today I wanted to share this beautiful pattern with you guys, the herringbone. This is an ancient pattern that goes all the way back to the way they bricked the streets in ancient Rome. And since then it's been widely used for architecture, fashion, art, and you can even find this pattern in nature. It's just a beautiful, beautiful pattern for those who are pattern obsessed like me. There's really one way that I know of how to truly make a herringbone pattern in flameworking. This is a technique that beginners to advanced people can try. It's really beautiful and very pleasing on the eye. With that said, I hope you guys enjoyed this demo. Give it a try if you haven't already. And on that note, I hope you're all doing safe and well wherever you might be. We'll see you next time in the dungeon. Okay, I'm going to start this herringbone bead. I want to do a 3-color twist. And you can definitely do a 2-color twist or 4 or more. But I wanted to do a 3-color twisty because I think that this will be really nice in the final look of this bead. And I'm using 3 cooler colors here to start with. And I'm just gently laying the colors on top of each other in a nice and even pattern. Just laying them down together, making sure there's no undercuts, so you don't have any bubbles happening in your glass. And once I have all 3 colors added, I want to add a punty to both ends. That will ensure that when you pull this out, it'll be more even than not. If you pull it out with a rod on one end, then you'd want to use a rod on the other end. So both ends are pulling out nice and evenly. And the important thing here with these 2 canes that I'm going to make is the way you twist them. This is the only way that I have found to get a really nice herringbone pattern. So on this first cane, I'm just going to heat everything up nice and evenly until it gets super hot. And when I come out of the flame, I'm going to twist this clockwise. So I see that I always go with my right hand. My right hand is turning forward. So that tells me that the next time I twist, my right hand has to pull backwards and my left hand goes forwards. It's a little confusing, and yes, I had to make quite a few of these to get 2 that were really even to each other. And in the final bead, I end up using 3 color twisties. This is a really pretty one, this yellow, it's kind of a pink color, I'm not really sure what it's called, and then an orange. And the combination of these 2 twists really came out nice. But take your time when you make these little canes here, and especially when you are heating them and pulling them out. You want to really take your time and get them nice and even and a good spiral on both of them. However, if your spiral doesn't come out perfectly, it's still going to be interesting either way. And the reason why I'm making the second one like this, you see the cane that is already on the marvering table. It's a little thin, so I wanted to make sure I had enough cane that were as even as possible to each other before I got started. And this one came out really nice, and you'll see that it is very similar in size to the green one that I pulled out, the greenish blue one. All right, those look great. Let's go ahead and start this bead. black is one of my favorite base colors. It really makes the color on top of it pop. With this bead, it just looks beautiful. Here I am using a Fetri black number 064. This is the only black I use as like a basic black. It's perfect. And this black will not interfere with any other colors that you use, so it doesn't get all crazy or spiderwebby or anything. Now the shape of this bead that I'm going for is nice and long to accentuate the herringbone pattern. You can make this bead any size, any shape you would like. I just want to make it really nice and long so you guys can see how pretty these canes turn out next to each other. And this is kind of going to be a smooth bicone shape. So I want it really nice and long. And once I have my base bead kind of started and my edges looking nice, I'll go ahead and start to build up the bead. And if you guys have been watching any of my videos for any length of time, you'll notice that a lot of times, you know, I start my beads out different every time. I guess it just depends on my mood. But today I am just going ahead and adding some different bands of black, about 4 or 5 bands of black. And because I have previously shaped the edges, they should be fine throughout the whole process of this bead making. I felt like building this one up with discs this time. So I just want to gently heat everything up. I make sure that I turn my mandrel kind of back and forth on the bias so that heat really gets up into all of those wraps of glass. And as everything melts down, you'll notice that nothing is going to touch you know, the other wraps and create a bubble. You don't want any bubbles in this piece. If you see any, try to pop them before you move forward. And then just using my little paddle there, my graphite paddle, to shape everything up. This is a great way to shape your beads up without having to necessarily roll them back and forth on the larger graphite pad. And I want to make sure this shape is just where I want it to be before I go adding my pattern. All right, I'm going to go ahead and start out with the cane and just get the tip hot and attach it to the very end of your bead, and then gently draw it all the way to the other end. And when you pull the cane away, take your time doing that, so you are trying to lay it down as evenly as possible when it comes to the ends of your bead. I was really happy with this one because these bits of cane, oh man, they just laid down really nice. I didn't have any problems with the cane breaking or cracking. If you do, it might be because you have a little bubble in there. I am making sure that I'm adding one twist going one way and then another twist going the other way. And you'll notice that I have a also a red, kind of a red and pink twisty. I think it's red, pink, and orange. Gosh, what a great color combination. Red, pink, and orange. It is just beautiful. Here it is. It looks really nice, and you'll see it at the end. But make sure that you're adding the opposite cane next to themselves. And you can get them as close as you want to be, or or you can give them some room in between. And when you do that, the color underneath will kind of wick up to the surface. So you see the little black stripes as well. And I'm just going to take this all the way around the whole bead. Gently, just taking my time. I'm always fascinated at how cool these beads look in the heat when you're actually working on them. The way the color changes and gets darker, it just looks beautiful. And I can already see this herringbone pattern taking place. And take your time, take your time. I know I say that a lot, but it is true. Don't get frustrated and, get your heart rate going up. You just want to be calm and be breathing and relax when you do this. It should be relaxing. Flameworking should be a stress relief. Let's just say that. Okay, once I have all of these canes on here, the very first thing I want to do is secure the edges, the very bottoms of each cane. So I'm going to go ahead and heat those up. And before anything really starts to get too hot and melty, I'm going to push down on those edges, just to make sure that everything starts and ends on a nice note. And once I have that finished, it really is just a matter of very gently heating up the bead, heating up your pattern, and making sure that everything as you're looking at it is the same heat all the way through. And it does take time to get there. And with this one, what I'm trying to do is go from the edges to the center and heat everything up so everything is melting nice and evenly. Therefore, it's going to spread out really evenly for you too. And of course, once you're done melting everything in, you're going to go ahead and reshape your bead back into that really nice smooth pattern. Shape. And that's it, you guys. This bead is hard for me to take my eyes off of. It's really gorgeous. And gosh, I hope you guys try this. It's a super cool technique and just a fun pattern to play with. The herringbone. All right, you guys, on that note, I hope you enjoy this. And we'll see you next time in the dungeon.